In a previous video I did where I was reacting to Mr. Cyrus Annan of Tuntum Network confronting and asking Sami Gyamfi of the Gold Board and the government of Ghana some few questions, where Sami Gyamfi chose what and what not questions to answer at an event. The video is on my channel, you can go check it out. I told you guys the name of the event. That is National Mining Dialogue, where stakeholders, dignitaries, chiefs and kings, and the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources were all invited to come sit at a table and discuss and talk about our mining industry or sector and see the way forward. At that event, lots of things happened. And the first one was what I brought or reacted to in that previous video where Mr. Cyrus Annan asked some few questions. Another significant thing also happened at the event, which is the Gyasehene of the Apinto community came with lots and lots of fire. He came with lots of reasoning and wisdom and questions, important and relevant questions. He was present at the event. He was also invited. So as he was coming, he didn't just come just fold his arms, but he came with a lot of reasoning, wisdom, questions, relevant questions, and suggestions and opinions on how to take our mining industry from this current stage to the next level, so it benefits all of us, the country as a whole, and the individual communities where these mining sites are situated in, or their lands are being mined for these natural resources. And in this video, we are going to react to whatever he said or his contribution to that summit or event. So stay tuned. If today is your first time coming across this content and you find it valuable, you find it interesting, you think it's necessary we churn out content like this, then please and please and please, you can support or you can motivate me to churn out more videos like this by hitting the subscribe button, liking the video, sharing the video, coming into the comment section, and also contributing with your opinion and your suggestion. After doing that, also do remember to hit on Tuntum Network their subscribe button, because it is the channel where I get my materials to react to and churn out videos like this. So please do remember also to go hit the subscribe button of Tuntum Network by Mr. Cyrus Annan. Without wasting much time, let's jump right into today's story. I go by the name Niyama, and this is Ghana First.
The event of the National Mining Dialogue from yesterday is one that's quite memorable for me, specifically because of the Apinto Chief's speech. Ladies and gentlemen, by the way, my name is Cyrus and this is Tuntum Network in Accra, Ghana. If you haven't subscribed, today is your chance. Please go ahead and support us. Ladies and gentlemen, this chief has earned my respect. And I'm at this point only wishing that many of our local chiefs whose lands host mining companies will act likewise. I'm serious. The Gyasehene of the Apinto Traditional Council, Dr. Adarkwa Bediako III, is a very knowledgeable man who has been consistent along with the elders of the area when it comes to the renewal and ownership of Goldfields Ghana mines in Tarkwa.
So, I don't know if you guys understand Gyasehene and the position this man occupies, the chief occupies. About account tradition, Gyasehene is basically the Ebusuapeni of the royal family. And this chief, this man, Dr. Adarkwa the III, it's not become earlier, came with a lot of wisdom, relevant questions, and contribution to that event. And I think whatever he said would benefit, if we are to practice whatever he contributed, will benefit our mining industry and our country as a whole. He is one of those people or chiefs who has been on the front lines, pushing the agenda that Ghana be what? We own all these mining sites. We have a state-owned what? Mining company, which will be what? Mining most of our natural resources in our country, Ghana. Yeah, he has been part of this fight, and we appreciate him for that. And also, I've said severally that me personally, I don't see the relevance of regional ministers in our country, Ghana, and in our communities and our regions too. To me, I think they are ceremonial figures, and the only time we see them working is when maybe the president is visiting a specific region for a program or casting sort for a project to be built or something. That's when we see regional ministers. That's when we see them working. Apart from that, I don't see their work, what they do for our regions and for the country as a whole. Double down MPs, so I don't see their role they play apart from making laws in the parliament. I don't see how they contribute economically to our communities, our individual communities, because your road is saying here from almost say they are not the ones to be building roads. Almost they say yeah making laws. It's basically what I'm trying to say is, or what I'm trying to communicate is, the roles of the regional minister and the roles of our MPs. No, now your paramount chiefs. What must say to regional minister no, the role no paramount chiefs of our individual regions, because they are the what? They are already doing whatever the regional minister is supposed to do, and also the their people, right? It is their people. They are already what's governing, so they know what is right for their people. And also the role of our MPs. More parliamentals, right? More parliamentals, but I want to say your communities mudia. I think say Saro ne say Jama chiefs in more regions or they are in our communities.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man is unbelievable. He demanded ownership even at the summit. He demanded ownership on national level and on chieftaincy level. I want you to take a listen to when he spoke in a panel discussion at the Kempinski Gold Coast Hotel, ladies and gentlemen. And while he spoke, ladies and gentlemen, he insisted that when government has issued mining leases to mining companies to go mine, that shouldn't be all. That shouldn't be all. There has to be another layer of agreement where the mining company must have a social contract with the chiefs and the leadership of the land on which they are going to mine. This man insisted on that part. And he said, in that case, the mining companies are forced to respect them. They're the chiefs, not as mere chiefs and merely custodians of the land like we always say, but because they are legally obliged to respect them, ladies and gentlemen, because they are part of the permit issuance process. He spoke about corporate social responsibilities that has to be specified in terms of percentages on your profit and made mandatory. Then he challenged the idea of it being from the free will of the mining companies to something that has been legislated, ladies and gentlemen. He talked about chiefs being brought to the table at the point when the state is in discussions with any mining company pertaining to any land. He also talked about ownership being local so that they can hold people from the locality accountable for when they don't manage the land properly. He has been consistent about Ghana government taking over the mining rights of Goldfields Ghana Limited and running it themselves because we have the engineers available. This chief is different. And he's different because he's well informed. He stands against the renewal of the mines of the Goldfields in Tarkwa, just as we do in this studio, ladies and gentlemen. This chief didn't come to the event to please anyone. I want you to take a listen to the video. Let the video play.
Before we listen to him, already know, Mr. Sosanan has already summarized everything the chief said. So I would also want to add my 2 cents to whatever Mr. Sosanan has said so far. So, one of the things that chief, the Gyasehene Bisa, they say, Ghana should have a state-owned mining, right? Like when it comes to our mining sector now, it should be state ownership and what? And community ownership, which I agree with him 100%. What must say? And secondly, so Adarkwa said, social contract in between this foreign companies or whatever company, whether a local company, or about to come mine in this in our communities and so on. The community chiefs or elders or people needs to be at the negotiating with table. What must say? And I'll explain why I agree with him. And I'll use the royalty rate as an example. Ghana ha say company piba na also so to gold and two natural resources. E wa yasasi bi so a. Royalty mu tuama aban just 5%. But Oko Wester, royalty companies pays to the government and now abayano is up to 12%. It's Ghana and yeah buying or royalty rate in just 5% too, but West countries like Canada, USA, Australia, wherever, up to 12%. And on that chain. Ghana added 5% royalty rate in the year. No year move 0.5% of that 5% to 1%. And not their senior community na year two nasa asimu gold no through the Minerals Development Fund. Mr. Montama Sonomuntiu. Ghana added 5% in the year. Ghana added 5% in the year. No year move up to 1% per of that 5%. No, they are sending community na year two nasa asimu gold. But Oko Wester, Oko it's a USA. Abana added 12% in the year no. I feel also quite a different deal, but the community now you to go to. Now, some community, yes, 5% different from what 12% now by now, general. But me break it down properly. Now, Montias. It's enough to say, what to crew and a company be about. Or see who good, as you was saying. Now, episode 2. Boom. Say Ghana ha, or a buying chain, a ban on new deal. Abema abang 5% royalty rate. Royalty rate no as change and say wasasi na gold no year to gold na every month. And who sika na year den in year 2. It's different from what? From the leasing. Leasing is say the assassin here the air rental. Matias here. Aha, yeah the assassin the air rental keke. But yeah the assassin rent we no. Who say two assassin mu gold. And to go now who to and who sika na the year den. And now they ma abang. And you find royalty rate no. It's no company no bema abane just 5%. Na abane no government of Ghana no. It's no yama say company number. Baba invest 50 cedis into assassin or to gold. And when you pass like it's going near 1.5. 150 cedis. It will attend a cost if me 50 cedis into you pass 100 cedis. It's 100 cedis so bema abane just 5 cedis. Muti, when buying just 5 cedis. It's 5 cedis not buying a royalty rate. No, emu 1% and I buy so better. Ediama, you have to say Tarkwa 4. It's 1% of 5 cedis. You're saying, I think it's 50 pesos, right? Yeah, it's 50 pesos. But Oko Abrochia, the same situation. I buy no company the ban in chain. No company no invest 50 cedis. Let's go nya 150. No, it's a cost a free. The selling price no nya for 200 cedis now. I buy budget the 12%. It's Ghana and you 5%, which is just 5 cedis of the 100 cedis. What I say, but America one you buying 12%, which is what 12 cedis. Company number are buying 12 cedis. Oh yeah, you. This was how back to the community number to go. No, this community that's a different deal. Some community knows no. Obama some community so another different royalty rate, which is what 5%. The Obama community no 5 cedis. And to compare Abroad community no many 5 cedis out of the gross profits of the company. But Ghana had just 50 pesos out of the what the gross profit of the what of the company. It means say Gyasehene can say yo. As a man do beyond, say yes, oh, and as our money we do new year, money are buying company, no, a buying do new year, and so buy and chain, no, a different deal. Mijitumu say it's a good thing for the Gyasehene to ask or demand from the company and the government of Ghana. Because That's what is done everywhere. But Ghana, because he penny for them, sebe, I really need to now, sika kakra de edda da omuntinu, greediness in intinu. Yeah, practices are the way, and I just said the piano, this foreign companies here, the ACC. The dear was near the Gyasehene best ever.
Pushing for Ghanaian large-scale mining companies to take over, operations in Ghana. In himself, I don't know why a press conference there they didn't really say what I said. The mines, Ghanaian companies actually within Nigeria. From the ones here around the state, we want 74 acres. Is this something you are still pushing? What was we pushing?
Okay, the organization. I would like to touch on the issue they brought about legalizing social contribution. Then we go back to that.
So, for some time now, since I'm starting to say, I'm Gyasehene Dr. Adarkwa Bediako III has been pushing for this agenda, or this agenda that we should legalize social contracts for the mining companies. You can't say social contracts when it comes to mining terminologies and mining word na sector more. As a Chinese say, company no, you did land na rent we we. I ajin wisikan. What your royalty rate ewie nso no. I ajin wisikan we ewie nso no. Social contract ni kire say eno na your unwritten rule eno na any paper so. But a contract I dey no ye den e kan I dey ye den ye gitum. Say wo company wo to go eh wo operations for masas so. E was say wo ye nyame bia dey e ma me community no. Maybe to say what developmental project to say we see school adan we roads we see hospitals oh we bibi say wo to go ni wia na wo kwa me so okay apart from me di ancestral rental imagine wo rat ni bibia no and for so me say nye free wo company ni nchen betu me gold me nye free wo nchen ya ma me community ni nso ni ne say be we see school dan we see hospital we see what be pipe what the pipe about Chronomu se pipe no electricity to iron about criminal any for the social contract but no unwritten what agreement and they are no near the any they can it's no company no only a community na government met na so mo prema me tu masasi go da say ni na me so met my ye abo aban e de ama community no met me school dan do say met me say and do you know that this social contract those say unwritten rule na ye no pen can it's not legalized in this country, but in the West and other foreign countries, it's legalized. Lecturer said, "Okay, say America social contract. Ewa abide law say what company no? Oh yeah, there are specific number of things you need to do for the community out to na assassin good. Ewa account law no, but Ghana they are in free will. They are in no man's land, free will." Ni law mu company no o hye bia ni so ana bia kire ne se chenchena ache e so ye bibi o si school dan na bibi if you no ni pem no why the why am community no it no hwe baby to say pristia aya to mu gold and emu diamonds ni emu other natural resources e from then put in pan na ukọ pristia sia bet man kas oh if you betu gold in at least omutimi see university kese se ere emayen anase bia omutimi si factory kese bi ere emayen anan bia omutimi di recreational center bi kese bi ere ebesi o man anan omutimi ye bise omutimi ye bise ere e shade wo and also me two boreholes and one of this foreign companies some back Ghana Puma and one of moye omo social contract omo ye nya ne say ye two borehole kakra bi na ide na amam anase be road crap na road no ya just 1 kilometer road near the amount because any legalized any and there's no law a shop say chenchinachi omunya BBC omunsi squad and do sing and omunya road this kilometers this number of kilometers dabi but to ko approach here e your share those unwritten what agreement but e your share say oh who company say with me school down and I say with me yes with me see hospital be say emma community it and no na social contract now just saying is what is demanding for that we be legalized backed by law for the companies to do for our individual countries where these goals and other natural resources are being mined.
It's very interesting. I mean, the presentation given by lawyers is actually very accurate. Government of Ghana, the mining companies, both owe a duty to the community. So we need to look at it from both sides. If you take this here, one of the main problems we're having in Ghana is the shift of authority, the shift of power from Ghana, and centralizing that power in government. That is what is happening. Legalizing social responsibility is extending that power again and centralizing that power, shifting it from government. But what we are seeing and what is happening in mining now is actually the shift from Ghana to centralized government. It is what is creating the problem. Any further shift will compound the problem. I think that it is time when the owners of the land should be given enough authority of their land. We need to be given enough power to deal with what is common. In relation to corporate responsibility, Christian, we all know Christian was a very big mining. When you go there, it's a mess. I will be at those parts of Christian. Okay.
Before we continue, that's my boss down. Asema Gyasehene air kanu aoguso kanu aboso da na asema na America ho ase ibisa senti Ghana ha enye se nyame ahira with all these natural resources na ka den pan na Ghana ha ye de be so by dey den pan as a country like Ghana we can say okay ade ne ma yesika ade we ne ma yesika because social countries be to say the Middle East for no so ya omo oil pay Omasasi gold in him, oil penomunya. Now oil they are utilizing this and maximizing the profits out of the oil to develop their country. Now Ghana ha upon gold near one in ya, upon diamonds one in ya, upon bauxite one in ya, upon fertile near one in ya, upon the water bodies one in ya, upon the good climate and weather one in ya. They are still not developed. It may be say any sign one in ya. Does that mean say baby run and remember that just in the say I say yen ye Pristia, me sano, meti Pristia. Near ye school one of the biggest mining communities. Good, a show my sass pan. And so in that Pristia was shit. Ye too good number good in yasa. I'm a sister galam sene, air cost na galam sene air cosmo. Go near to a debris and I won't get in our chest communities near the air tasse. It will be say in there. Apinto community or in on the Tarkwa land or Tarkwa Sisiana goldfish ewo Sisiana mutum gold. See it man maximize profit it may yan faso pepe bien free. Go near to a free Tarkwa land no so goldfish and air company o 2 sa gold na. Na so mutu gold na mani nya san gold when the gold depletes then ben pana Tarkwa land for an attacker for o metmenya as revenue and income of what for their community or what beneficial would they get if the gold should finish? If now I year to go near man maximize the profits now. And one just in the air can. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Right? I bet you guys understand what I'm communicating.
And the whole town has been neglected, I would say, by both governments and the mining companies that took advantage of the land. And nothing has happened to the town. If social responsibility doesn't change, we don't change that concept and bring it to our own destiny. From what you said, we need to own it. I need to be, we, the people of Apinto, need to be responsible for what miners do on our land. What contribution they try to implement on our land without legalizing it. We don't want to leave it in the hands of a lawyer to determine for us whether it's we need to be able to have the strength and ability and empower them. Mining mineral commissions should empower them. Before the lease is being given, Nana should be part of it. Before we go into the negotiating table and say that we are now going to give a lease to whoever, whether officer or whoever, we should.
What Gyasehene Ebisa for demanding for asking for? It's not out of the blue. It is practiced everywhere in every serious country, apart from what Africa and Ghana. Ghana to be specific. The Gyasehene Ebisa, any idea new, any idea new to the sun or under the sun. It's something that is done everywhere, but Ghana because a penny for moon is serious. Yes, your chroma be brain so sabe mesramuka I've been in here, it's not done yet. So I can be explaining earlier. Okay, it's America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. When a company comes to come mine, coming to come mine on a specific land, they have, or they sit down with the government. After sitting down with the government, they have to go and sit down with the community. Oh, it's either say government in the community now the company no do what, they'll negotiate or they'll do the deal. And now say government no a buying ever kwasansa. Oh, you know that specific community do so a deal, different deal altogether. Meanwhile, that community is still in that country. It's not just a government agent the share no na community so here and so agent share from the company. But Ghana had deal. Company no only a buying kwa deal no or for community ni deal. Mutie Ghana had deal. Company no only a buying kwa na deal no but on for community ni deal. Now the second suma my explain the earlier and say approach one government no get 12%. Oh yeah, no akoma community ni 5%. But Ghana had deal. Company ni ma abane just 5%. Now say I'm 5% now abane so tie mu then 1% of the 5% no the ama community. Ya wi ejuma. Ya dwin ejuma na. Ade yempesika, yempe yedie, kese ye ohia na nye sisi e. People just come take advantage of us. And one ye digi one. Oh. Gyasehene twaso. Gyasehene say there twaso we go say mo why ni nia adwi me friend say fie nyansa. You know what is it when you bro, like I'm sad, bro. I'm sad. I'm really sad. Say yo, on my man crown my BPM say nyame de bibia acho say tumpon ye like ye. Was also jimienti me ye. Jimienti no. You are letting people take advantage of you. What country? Any? Oh Lord. Nyakumo be show mba na wa be show mba dia che say jimiesa na dia den. Ye dey woo. Oh.
To be honest, we should be there. The discussion must be a three-way discussion so that our input can be recognized. When that happens, the money community will respect us enough for them to take our point, our opinions into making the right decision for implementing on our social responsibility. At least before you go on, I've told you about all this might be on effectively, there's about on top of my head about 15,000 hectares of land being used by this many groups. The laws were made when mining was underground. Now mining is surface. Goldfields has spent about 4,000 hectares of our land mining. Goldfields spent a certain amount of land in the mining. Now Goldfields is no longer in the mine. If you go to the mine now, what can you see? What can you see as a development? What can you see that will make you feel putting Goldfields what we say is creating enduring value after mining? Yes. What's enduring value can you see in that? But they built a whole new town. No. When we talk about enduring value, this is where the mistake is again.
What the F? What the F? What the motherfucking F? Host, of course, me beside you, and I will suggestion, I will answer to me, man. Ghana, this is very sad. Honestly speaking, it's sad. It's sad. So we have these people as leaders. These people as leaders, like mediocre thinking, mindset, like just a bare minimum, like oh, Dabi, I'm Raymond. It's your Raymond. As my okay and yellow Ghana ha. Yeah, just say the next 10 generations. Next 1,000 years to come as a Ghana will start what? Developing. Because if they have people like this with this sort of reasoning now, and then you bet me to I didn't I'm talking why am I ranting? Like what he just said, the host. I don't know whether it's the host or whatever. Why am I angry or upset about what he said? Let me explain. What's that may can be earlier said. You're afraid be the social contract or the what or the corporate social responsibilities. What must I say? And now Gyasehene the castle. Oko Pristia, Oko Dama, Goldfields, Oko 2 in your gold, those communities, Oko 2 gold in your Oko South community, then potting pan or say, oh, gold fields for ebe 2 gold free han ebe masi university school kakaka esi wo ebe masi factory kakaka and they obakon is still operational ayenya won faso and that community is what is benefiting from that factory gold fields here esi emo none, there's none in Dama and there's none in what in Pistia. In other words, that social contract or that corporate social responsibility near comes. In other words, you can call them what enduring what values or enduring projects or enduring whatever. And not just in Ibisau and a whole Pejana, they've built a whole new town. See, as I would they've built a whole new town for the Pistia people. If you understand what he's trying to say, oh, it's very, very sad. It's very, very disappointing. I'm very, very disappointed in what the host said right there. Honestly speaking, let me explain to you guys if you don't understand. When it comes to mining, the mining industry or the mining sector, here you see the terminology or the term new town. As a training yarn say what company, waba, no gold deposit, eshe, obiasa asiase. Now open so 2 gold now. Now maybe I'll be 2 gold. If there are human settlements on the gold on that land with the gold deposits, what you the company you do is you have to build a whole new town for that community, and you relocate that community people into that new town so you can be able to mine the gold. It's in a crack running like basically what I'm trying to say in the say. Say what company no so ba no gold deposit bi e sha asase bi ase na asase na bia everybody say baby an fontia e bia nwemu baby e bia forest baby and e bia mountains baby and baby an fontia like there's no human settlements there. You can go ahead and mine the gold without the need of creating a new town for the community or for the custodians of that land. But it's needed of you as the company to build a whole new town for the people or for the community. If where the gold deposit is in the land, in what that. An example is Pristia. Gold fields and any other company of call Pristia go to gold one. Omudu one now as so like people are living on the land on that particular land non compensation to gold free. Now what that. It's what they have to do is they have to relocate the people and some go see baby nearby that same land now, nearby the community no matter so down. They have some see baby full from home. I mean build a new settlement for them. Now I'm relocating for the aqua show. Now bueno simple common sense. Maybe so who hosts maybe so. If they don't build a new town, how would they mine the gold? Maybe so host, Mr. Host, maybe so. If they don't build a new town for them, how would they mine the gold? Are they going to mine the gold as well as saying for the two no mine gold now? When just common sense is done everywhere. This is not something we can see be like something new. It's normal thing that when it comes to the mining industry they do. And you're gonna have building new town mine. So for that you build a new town for them because when I'm building a new town you can't mine the gold. I'm very, very disappointed. I'm sad. But then also,
when we talk about grand value, it's level beyond mining. Ability to have a factory, for example, is a very value. Having something that can sustain a town after the mining is finished. Please let's take an example. There is nothing like that. And very soon Tarkwa will be. We are dealing with a depleting assets. Gold is depleted. The more you dig, the more you give to the community, or a time will come, the gold will finish, and the community will be there and they will be nothing for us. So are we still pursuing the agenda of local?
Nana, to us so, and one and I come, and one and I air come. Oh, see, let me give you enduring values now, corporate social responsibilities now, social contracts near come once. Things companies, and I say companies here, the communities are the mind of gold. They can number one, build a university for the community. Everyone is say Tarkwa. If you have a huge university built by Goldfields, side university they are training people with what? With skills, with engineering skills and technological skills. Maybe I check how to what? How to do phones. You actually invest in how to what? How to manufacture phones or manufacture cars or manufacture other things. Wouldn't it help the community and the surrounding community and the nation at large if Goldfish has built a university, like maybe Kenya University or Legon, Ama, Tarkwa. Isn't that an enduring value project for the Tarkwa community and the nation at large? Won't it sustain the community? Won't it sustain the community? Won't it take pressure from the government to do things like that? Another second or example of an enduring project. Mimi Susu said, this company should build for our communities. Another thing too is what? Is factories. Factories. Tarkwa and Pristia, I believe, was a what? Was a farming community, right? It is a go to Sabawo. Now, all to go in we see factory already. Only process it. The farm produce now. Community people near it. Air produce here. Want it to sustain the town? Want it to sustain the town? These are the enduring values and enduring projects from these companies, which is done everywhere. It's not something new. It is not something what? New. This and the point. Another 13 is what? Recreational centers. It's like I'll call Tarkwa and I'll call the mine and I'll call Pisia and Bia Unam Kumebia stadiums and now Tef and see ministers and the MPC for the AC is my like a San Bebre or Tarkwa and the mine of Pisia and get Emma Como in your face. Emma Como and your fana.
I wanted a local answer process. I personally, and I think that is my beautiful is that we need people who give respect to the community and the community leaders, and be able to sit with us and develop a good plan on how to develop our towns so that when the mining is finished and the gold is gone, we will be able to show, like what is it? How can the industries to show and say that these industries are
Gyasehene, because he's well informed, he knows what he's talking about. Knows what an example of what Johannesburg, which is what in South Africa. South Africa can boast of a lot of industries and factories because of what? Because of goldfields operations in what? In their country. Because of goldfields operations in their country, those are the enduring projects now we see Johannesburg for. Hello, boss. Yeah, boss, you. Okay. I'll go check him. I'll go check him and do one for you. Also, an example.
I've come out as a result of the group that was taken from Ghana. That is what we are looking for.
This is how you speak as a chief or as an informed leader. That's why I appreciate it. The ownership of Ghana's gold has to be deliberate. We need to be the ones in charge of our resources and not vice versa. There is nothing out there when it comes to gold mining that is new to Ghanaian engineers in the industry. What we need is a deliberate national interest in driving the narrative away from foreign investment to nationalization, ladies and gentlemen. We won't stop from this network. We won't stop. We won't stop talking about this until we see the right thing done. And we have a big announcement coming up on this network very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, Ghana is at the crossroads. Ghana, our beloved country, is at a crossroads, economically and religiously. And it's important we all take a stand for what we believe. There is a time when you talk, and there is a time when you talk, and then you walk. That time is almost here. And we'll bring you that announcement when the time is due. My name is Cyrus, and I'll see you in the next one. Be sure to subscribe and click on the bell if today is your first time with us. And for
Mr. Sansana, I appreciate what you do. I appreciate the videos you turn out, informing us about what's happening. And I also do my best to also push this agenda, or whatever you preach, or whatever we are preaching, or we are asking, or we are demanding, the change we are seeking for. Right? I do my best to do that. So I know you sitting at home, looking on your screens, watching us now. You also find value in whatever we are doing, and you can support us, or you can get more videos like this if you want to hit the subscribe button. So please hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet subscribed, and like the video, share the video, come to the comment section, come share your opinion. I go by the name Niama, and this is Ghana First. Hope to catch you on the next episode. I'm out.